Hi, this is Karen Itarokot, and welcome to the webinar, my very first webinar today. And the webinar is Knowing and Nurturing Your Very Own Authentic Nature Without Having to Change. So while we still shortly wait for people to come in, we just have a look here of what is happening. I hope that some people will come. Several have registered, so that is nice. Thank you already for making that effort. And I hope that people now slowly will pop in into the chat room. Oké. Angelique. Ja, leuk dat je er bent. We are going to talk English today because, as you know, I do most of it in English, but feel free to ask any question in Dutch if you feel better to do that, because I also can just, of course, read Dutch, so no problem. Nice that you're here. Let us just wait a little bit more, shortly not still to wait some few people before we start. And perhaps you want to introduce yourself for the ones that are present, so that you can already say hi to the rest. If you have a Chrome browser and a Gmail address, you can also speak. So that is nice. Then we can also hear you or even see you if you wish that, when you have a question or you would perhaps like to add something. So in the meanwhile, let us see. Who is all there? Oh, Nadi, hi, welcome. Xavier, you also are here. Welcome. Let's see if still some few others are coming. Let them give them a minute to check in, and otherwise they, as we like to say, they meet us on the way. Good. Yeah, if you want to speak, if you want to say something, you can get a request. There should be a small finger that points upwards. So when you want to say something, you can click on that one, and then I can give you the word for saying something. And otherwise, just type your question into the chat, and I will, or actually, let's say, Trizia, my daughter. Trizia, say hi. Hi. Yeah, she will read possible questions for us, so that I can actually just be with you guys. Okay, good. Now let us see that others perhaps might come. So the program of today is that we are going to first to look into what actually is the difference between development and change. Most of the time we are just interchanging those two words and just talking about it as if it is more or less the same. And of course we are aware that these are only words, yeah? So one cannot say, oh, this is now this and this is now that. Words can never convey the real experience. So for that purpose, I ask you actually now already a question. So what is actually development and change? What's the difference for you? Is there any difference? So I could appreciate if you write that in your chat box down, and then we can see. So take a moment, think about it. As promised, it's an interactive webinar, so it's not that I intend to talk all the time and just to tell you things, but I also would like you to think about it, and so that we are kind of together have this experience of this webinar. Okay, sure. So the question is, what is for you the difference between development and change? Or is there any difference? Het verschil tussen ontwikkeling en verandering. Nou, dan gaat mijn telefoon nog gezellig af. Ups. Okay. Nadi says,
for me, development is ongoing and changes to have something totally different.
Okay. Yeah, this is how you could look at it. Okay. So for Angelique, it's for both. It is as well, you can interchange it. Development is change and change is development. Okay. This is also a way of looking at it. Perhaps some few more that want to share. Is there a difference? Is there no difference? Okay, great. Now, let me share with you like how I look at it. And the words are less important than that we actually understand of what the consequences of these different activities actually are. Yeah. For that purpose, I want to share a slideshow. Oh, okay, Xavier also says development is growth in a positive way. Okay, good. Yeah, development is growth in a positive way. It's also a way of looking at it. Yeah. So I would like to share a slide with you. Actually, in the slideshow of PowerPoint, when I put the whole slideshow, it freezes. So I put just one screen at a time. So let's see how that will work for us. Here we go. Here it comes. So if it's okay, you're seeing now a slide. And you see an apple seed. So this apple seed, you actually could never know until that it is an apple seed. Yeah, so it is just something which is there, and what it ever will be and to what it will be of use or how it can be enjoyed, one couldn't tell. So for the apple seed to become something, we need to nurture it. So it has a nurturing surrounding. We have to be attentive to it. So then the apple seed becomes a seedling. And the seedling, finally, yeah, when we take well care of it, we cannot force it, yeah. We only can make it grow when we carefully attend to it and nurture it. It becomes an apple tree. But this still, the apple tree with no fruits, we still cannot really know of what it actually is. When we take more time for the development, then the apple tree finally has some small fruits. And those fruits, they're just tiny, they're small, and they're just a few. But now we can actually see slowly, only slowly, of, hey, this becomes really an apple tree. And with time to come, and when we nurture the tree further, the apple tree will have many nice fruits. And in years to come, the mature apple tree will be enjoyed in many different ways. Perhaps you can see on the picture that there is a child hanging upside down in a tree, plays with it, and there is a nice shade, one can sit under it. So there are many ways how this tree is making us enjoy it. So this is a way of development. So something is already there and it develops further. So let me close this one. Unfortunately, I cannot slide to the next one. Hi again. And now comes the next slide. Here it is. So here we have again the apple seed. It could be us, you know, with our traits, with things that we have inside of us, no clue of what it actually is. And at this moment, it does not seem to be not even, you know, it looks not fruitful. It does not have anything what we would like to say, okay, this is it, or this is how I can use it. So what we generally do is we look around and say like, okay, who do I want to be? And especially like in NLP, we have the tendency to do that, to say like, okay, who do I want to be? And we are also told that we can actually be anything. And it is great to believe that you can be anything, that you can just choose of who you want to be. But in my 20 years of experiencing with working with people, I actually have to see and to say that looking around of the outside of who you want to be is quite frustrating, because after years you still might find life is hard, and perhaps you have some stuff which is already fitting and something which already bears fruits and it's great, and there are other things that you say like, oh gosh, what is this? Yeah. So the question like, who am I actually, and what is my path, and how I can contribute is still there. So when we want to change, and in this case, it's like looking to the outside of who you want to be and what you want to do, is actually looking into the wrong direction. So let me change the slide again. Here we go. Because your unique nature, your earthly nature, is found within you. I know that we are talking about the spiritual nature and our spiritual. Okay, Xavier, you asked the question, do you mean that change is looking to the outside? Yes, often it is, because change, when you want to change something, then you have a fixed idea of how you want something to be, and that is the biggest actually illusion, yeah, that we live in, that we look to the outside of how something can be, but you can never know how an apple tree will grow. It has its own in-programmed nature, and I know many don't like that, but when we start looking into within, also for our earthly nature, not just for the spiritual nature, not just for our God presence, as we know in meditations, we know we find ourselves within, you know, but also your earthly nature. You only can know who you are on this earth when you dare to look inside of yourself, when you dare to truly look at you, who you are today, at this very moment. Only then you can actually become curious and attentive, and then also passionate about like what is there, even when at this moment it might not be conducive or it does not yet produce anything good. Yeah, perhaps it's even challenging. Yeah, but only by observing your own development and nurturing your own development, by giving positive attention to yourself and to all that you have inside of you, you can actually like let the thing grow. And here it's also important, to see, you know, that it is not about like what kind of form will it take, because we can't know in advance what form something will take. It's an observing yourself like how you want to be, observing yourself like what is there inside of yourself, and to give that what is there the loving attention. So when you have now, I have one more slide for this one. Give me a sec. I have to figure out how this will work without freezing, so that you can just make it slide normally. Next time I will know. Okay. Because your unique earthly nature is to be found within, and it's a promise to life. It's a promise and a gift of life. Yeah, from that you have no clue of how beautiful it is at this very moment, perhaps, and it can be enjoyed in many ways. Angelique. Yeah, I see that you are saying something, but okay. It could be a smiley, because I see a double dot and yes, it's a smiley. Thank you, Angelique, for the smiley. Yeah, because, you know, to give loving attention to who you are is not that easy. We kind of seem to be predetermined of that we want to know of what something brings to us. Yeah, we really have to look in it in a different way. That you look at every trait inside of yourself, even when it is a trait like I'm cheating, I'm lying, I'm pretending, I'm not daring to do something, I'm afraid, I'm a bully. Doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter of what actually you find inside of yourself. Yeah? But as soon as you look at it with this curiosity, yeah, with this like, wow, this is potential, something will happen. But since it is our nature that we want to know at least something in advance, we are so much, yeah, prefixed that what we actually see in ourselves, and then it does not produce something good as an adult, we think that it should not be there. And that is the biggest mistake actually we make, because we think like, okay, now you're 18 years old and you're supposed to be ready for the world. You are supposed to know how to deal with your emotions. You are supposed to know how to deal with your social life, how you deal with your spirituality, perhaps. Yeah. So, and it is my experience that learning, yeah, is actually just starting after, let's say, 16, 17, 18 years of age, like when our forming stage is finished, when everything has been installed in us, some things by inspiration, many things by fears, but when all of it has been installed in us, that it will also stay there when it's not anymore fear-driven, because it has become our nature. And from that moment on, we are invited to treat it just like that seed of that apple tree. To be careful with it, to be loving with it, to be patient with it, and to be observant in what it has to show. Which brings us now to the second part of this, this workshop. But I want first to ask if you have any questions so far of what you think about this. I thought that my daughter, I say my sister, wow, yeah, has a question about it. But do you have any question? And if not, I would like actually to start the real practical part, where we can together discover how this thing in you or in me or in anybody, it can also be somebody. Thank you. Okay, you don't agree. Xavier, that's great also. Do you have a question about that? Dank je, Nadi. Do you have a question about that, Xavier? Okay. Yeah, the typing is. Oh, okay, Xavier. So, Xavier does not have a question. So that's okay. Yeah. So I see that you guys are agreeing on it and that you can follow me in this way. Yeah. So let us now start playing a little bit. Let us play with our own nature. Like, how does that actually work? How does it work when I look at a trait in myself, yeah, or something that I just do, a piece of myself where I say, okay, I wouldn't want to see that in the Sunday newspaper necessarily. Yeah. So when you see that and you say, okay, when I would have this with no fear, what is it then in the essence? And this is not that it means that you will become that, but it is to shift our mind that we know that every single trait you see by yourself and you see in others is actually truly a beautiful thing. It has potential for something very, very beautiful. So let us start with somebody. Does somebody, okay. Sylvia says,
Debbie Ford said every trait has a positive side. Dark side of the light chasers.
yes, yes. So Debbie Ford says it's not necessarily a positive side, but it says like you have to put it into the light. Yeah. So when you don't own your shadow, yeah, your shadow will kind of backfire on you. It's like a, you know, it's like a guest in the house of a thief in the house. Every part of you is part of you, if you like it or not. Yeah. But when you let them in, yeah, they become a guest. And when you are spending some nice time with them, they become perhaps also your friends. Yeah? Debbie Ford wants us to accept all parts in us. That is what Debbie Ford says. And of course, it's not necessarily that it is something new as such, that we have to accept ourselves and that we have to be a full being and love yourself as you are. All those things are kind of known. I mean, these are the slogans of the New Age, the slogans of spirituality. Yeah. Yet we don't actually really live it. We mainly don't. Yeah. We still look outside, we still have kind of ideas of how we want to be, and we look at ourselves more in insufficiency, and then perhaps we want to be loving for the parts that we have, but actually we still want to change them, and that's what is not working. So you can't change them, and in order to truly to develop them, try to finally live them. Nadi says,
the shadow is mostly something we learned is not welcomed by our parents and others, but most of the time it is a positive trait gone wrong.
Yeah, thank you, Nadi. That's true. Yeah. So you can say it's going wrong. Of course, it's say like there's some healing needed and so on. It should not have been like that. I'm not sharing that idea. I believe that all that has happened to you has contributed towards your forming. If you wouldn't have those seeds in you, you couldn't be who you are. Yeah. So the going wrong starts, at least in my perception, only when we are ignoring them when we are growing up. Yeah? When we see them and then we start to become something and somebody complete, because we are not allowing certain parts of ourselves to be there. So does have anybody an example? An example, something, a trait that you know from yourself or somebody else, and let us just play with it. Let us just see to what it can develop, because this is a very essential part of this workshop, that we kind of program ourselves to really to see, you know, that the parts in you have that potential. And when you can see that slowly by slowly, when you do that more and more, then you can you lose your resistance to who you are in all aspects of your being. Good. Nadi, do you have something? You say yes. Nadi says,
I still am not happy with being stupid.
Okay, okay, great. Now, the question is here, okay, being stupid. So that means very loud. Somebody's very loud. Okay, Teresa wants to read. Yeah? Teresa, what you want to read, Xavier's?
Yeah. Saber says, my colleague at work is really loud, which to me comes across as arrogance.
Okay, so it's arrogance that you actually see as not a good trait, yeah? Okay, and Angelique?
Where I can be with a depressed feeling and don't be angry that it can't be there and it is okay.
Okay, so I would say we just start off like how they came in, and I'm sure we have time to go through all three of them so that we all have the benefits of knowing of what it is. So the question we are asking now ourselves, stupidity, the trait of stupidity. Here again, it's a word, and what you think about being stupid might be something else than that Nadi thinks about stupid or me. Yeah? But being stupid, Nadi, I actually don't know. Are you guys all having, or the three yet now having the question, do you have a Google account and Chrome? Because then you also could just log in for talking. Might be easier. Okay, let me see. Perhaps while you're still busy with it, it's a bit of a delay always. So one is, okay. So Xavier. Okay, invite as a speaker. So Xavier. Okay, Angelique, heb jij een, do you have a Chrome browser and a Google email address you have registered yourself with? Then you can also speak. Otherwise, you can't. Hangout does not support other email addresses. So just check if you used your that email address for it. And Chrome as a browser. Okay, great. So now, since Xavier is already ready, we change plan and we taking the one of Xavier now first. Not to disturb you with noise, let me put something in my ear. And I invite Xavier. And we also directly can see how that will work. Yeah, Angelique, it doesn't matter. We can also communicate like that, yeah? So it's not a problem. It's also fine. Yeah, you can still listen, yeah? But it's a way of dealing with it as well. Okay, so I have invited Xavier, and if it is okay, he could now actually just come in, and here he is. Good. Hi, Xavier.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Good. Xavier, you had, yes.
Here's some echo.
You hear some?
Echo.
Oh, okay. It's gone now? Yeah. Okay, great. I hope the others also can hear well. Say you had the loudness and arrogance, yeah? So the question is now for all participants, when you think about it and just take a second, what is arrogance actually? Yeah, when you have no fear to be arrogant, what is it in the essence? And I like all of you to think about it. What is it actually? What is it arrogance? We can kind of just talk and say like, okay, arrogance is to, I know it, I know the best way, I know. And with a lot of arrogance, you might think you are the only one who knows. And so to proud of yourself, yeah, you're proud of yourself. So in the essence, it's like being able to really be sure of yourself as well, and to have an own opinion. All that are actually fearless traits in this being arrogant. Xavier, when you hear that, what do you then think? How does that go for you?
Yeah, I think it depends on the situation. Eh? Fearless is good trait, but I think it should be situation dependent. What are the circumstances?
What other?
Circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Small
Yeah.
technical.
You can't hear me?
I just didn't hear you because our earphone did not work. So can you say that again? Sorry, Xavier.
Yeah. You say fearless or too much pride, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I call arrogance too much.
Mm-hmm. To be proud of yourself, yeah. So in that case, Nadi is hitting it already almost of what it means to you. And Angelique is saying,
For me, it's a meaning that someone can have about the other.
a meaning that somebody can have about the other. Yeah. So
What's arrogance?
Arrogance. Every person can have his own perception of what the word is. We're dealing with words here, yeah? And words are always quite limiting because they never really can convey of what somebody truly feels and experiences when he says a word. Yeah. But it is for us to see, like, okay, arrogance. Yeah. So to be proud, and when you are proud, yeah. Proud means you actually really like that of the other one. Is that correct?
I like that one.
When you're proud of somebody, when you're proud of your children, or you're proud of,
Yeah.
then you're not fearing, isn't it? Then there's no fear involved.
Yeah, I think there's positive pride and there's negative pride. The negative pride is what is called arrogance.
Yeah, but the arrogance is actually the seed.
Positive pride is kind of praise, is being satisfied, being fulfilled, being okay.
Yeah, great.
That's
Satisfied,
positive.
fulfilled, being okay with what you do. Yeah. So it's actually great that you say it has a positive and a negative side, yet actually it only has a positive side because one time it is just a seed and the other time it's already an apple tree. Yeah. But as long as we try to avoid being arrogant, yeah, you might never actually dare to shine, to really come out with what is there in you. You might never really be encouraging towards yourself in order to take steps. Yeah, when you are not really try to look at arrogance. Yeah, when you don't dare to be arrogant, when there's fear involved in arrogance. So for this, just to recognize and to see of what it really is in a potential.
Mm-hmm.
We have to look at it as a seed. But what we do is exactly of what you're actually now saying is like, okay, no, the negative side of arrogance, I don't want to be arrogant. And then we always hold in, we hold back. Yeah, we don't really try or actually dare to shine. We don't dare to play with something because, what if, I say I can do this and then I can't, so we don't really dare to come out.
Okay.
Yes. What does it do then to you? How do you now feel about arrogance?
How do I feel? I don't know how I feel.
What do you think about arrogance? Better said, what do you think about arrogance?
Yeah. You said something about it, which I understand.
Yeah, just let it sink in. Here, so important, yeah, so important. Many people, as soon as they have an idea of what it is, they make a project out of that. They start now project being proud of myself or something like that, Project, I have to come out. And that is now exactly how it doesn't work. Yeah? We can now not from in advance determine how that what is inside of us, yeah, that unique piece of you, which has a potential, or in this case, the fear of arrogance, yeah, can actually develop further. We can't know how that will look like. So we simply know it's there. Yeah. And when we feel that we are actually looking at it, we don't deny ourselves to play with it. Yeah. to try to do something with it and see how it goes, and to be supportive. Just like a child, for example, when it starts walking, yeah, a child that starts walking, and when we look at it in the just, you know, like a very objective way, we say like walking for a child is not very conducive. It cries when it falls, it is faster when it crawls, you know, and so it perhaps better doesn't walk, yeah. But here, because we know, yeah, it will walk, yeah, we are every time again encouraging, even though the first walking doesn't look great. And the way from the first steps to become a marathon walker in Kenya is a long way. Yet we don't know if he ever will become a marathon walker, runner. Yeah, it's not important. We just observe the development, and just like we observe the development of a child, if we do it well. Teresa is smiling here, my daughter next to me. Yeah, we observe when we predetermine what should be. It's the same as we don't like it when other people, or when our parents did it with us. Yeah, pre-expectations, like this is how you should be, this is how you should behave. And of course our society is full with that. Yeah, this we have to do, this we have to do, and finally we have become a mind of yes and no's instead of a body with great potential, because all of your potential is inside of your body.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Very good.
So don't make a project out of that, yeah, but just be kind to it, that's all. Just kind, observing, to observe it, yeah, with kind attention. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Thank you, Xavier. So now we can go to Nadi, or who is, let me see. Somebody has a finger up. Now the technique is, no, it's still you. Now we can have a look how we can bring you back. Yeah, Xavier is gone. Good. Let us just take Nadi's now. Stupidity. Stupid. Again, the same question. What is stupidity actually? What is stupidity in its essence? What is it when stupidity wouldn't be fear, when we would not fear to be stupid? What would it then be? Nadi says,
knowing nothing.
Knowing nothing. Yeah, you don't know nothing. Now just imagine. Just imagine. We have a bit of fun fantasy. We understood what you meant, Nadi. When you don't know anything, and you can actually do this fearlessly, and you, what is it then? And the question is again for all. You want to say something? Yeah, sure. No, just say. Lisa, you're also part of it.
For me, knowing nothing means that you can just act from intuition.
Okay. Yeah. When we are not preconditioned in knowing something, then intuition has a space to come in. That could be a great benefit. I would like that. Yeah. What else could it be? I feel open to receive. When you don't know something, yes, you can also, you know, like when we are in communication and we have already a prejudiced mind of what we will see, yeah, and you can embrace, I don't know anything. You are so pure in experiencing somebody else, yeah. You feel really open to receive the information present because your mind isn't interfering. Yes, great. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you, Nadi. Angelique, let us have a look into your Let me scroll down shortly. Okay. When I can be with a depressed feeling. Yeah, exactly, Xavier. Being stupid is very relaxing. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. When you're not afraid of being stupid, yeah, then I can also kind of handle here the technique with a smile on my face and don't have to fear that it's stupid. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, great. Let us see. Angelique. Now, when I can be with a depressed feeling and don't be angry, then I can be there and it's okay. But yeah, it's true when you're depressed, yeah, and you can be with this depressed feeling and you're not angry, yeah, then the very first thing that happens is, of course, you're okay with it. So let us have now a look into depression, being depressed. What kind of gift is in depression? What is it in the essence? Just have a look together to it. What is it in the essence? Being depressed, being depressed. What is it in the essence? It could take both. Angelique, which one do you want to take? Because you're angry that you're depressed. Fear. Yeah? You fear? Okay, so so in Angelique's case, and we have all our own experience, again, these are words we are using. Yeah, they cannot really say what we really mean. They never can. But we can widen our mind on that. Right? So depression and anger. Now, when you have anger, anger is also a very popular one, and it's fear, fearing to be depressed. And depression, many people, they describe it as being kind of in a hole where you cannot do anything anymore, you know, where you don't feel motivated for anything. Yeah. So many people say like that, feeling down, and in this case, the fear. Angelique, in your example, would you explain it like that? The fear of, you know, that you are down, that you cannot motivate yourself anymore, that you cannot come into action. Is this the fear that is behind it? And it's now does not have to be okay. Thank you, Angelique. Yes. Yeah. So let us look at it like the fear of being unable to do anything, the fear of feeling enthusiasm about something. Okay. So when it would be fearless, we are now assuming, you know, to let go the fear is the shift from development, yeah, from fear-based motivation. We have the capacity of being depressed. It's a capacity, yeah, to love motivated. Yeah. So and that's a process. It's not we cannot change that, yeah, but we can develop that. Slowly by slowly, we can develop that. And what kind of forms that can take, again, I say that we can't know in advance. Yeah? I'm making all kinds of things with my hands, and Teresa is laughing at me because you can't see that. No problem. So when you are shifting, and we think of it as a fearless quality, the essence is fear. So you mean, you know, sure, the essence is fear, because like when you kind of take it very big, you say there's fear and love, and then I say I take it one step higher and say there's only love, because there's also no fear. Yeah. But in the duality of life, we do have that. Yeah. But I would like to take it one step below, because our human nature, as we are, as you know, living our life, yeah, we also need to learn to look at the one step down, how we are, you know, the essence of our nature, human nature, well said. Yeah, the human nature. And here it's the fear of being down, the fear of perhaps being sad, being not motivated, yeah, going into a hole where you can't get out, you know. It's actually like, and which fear it is exactly, there's only one who can tell, and that is you, when you would have it. But for us, it is the point to really to see like what is the potential, what is the possibility in it. Yeah. So let us take this now for as an example. Yeah. To be fully passive, not being able to enjoy something anymore. Yeah. I'm unable to enjoy something anymore. I don't want to take action. Yeah. What is it in the essence? What is the quality in that? I can't do anything anymore. I don't feel motivated to anything. And I asked the group. Nadia already said you don't have to do anything. Okay. So when it would be fearless, it's also like I don't have to do total inactivity, worldly inactivity. And also an yeah, how do you call that in English? You know, not having, no need for looking for something good. Yeah, you might have had time for yourself anymore when you don't have to do anything anymore. Yeah, but I still also want to take that aspect of, okay, yeah. So I also want to take that aspect of being unable to feel joy, you feel some kind of interest in anything. Yeah, when it would be fearless, yeah, then we would actually have reached to live dualism only as an observer, and to have the full experience of all without any judgment, because you stop looking for the good. You stop looking for that which makes you happy. You are then really able to experience what is there. And likely, I'm guessing that you're also more able to live that what is already inside of yourself, your true nature, because you don't look for joy, you don't look for happiness, you don't, you know. So for that purpose, you start becoming a true observer of what is there. Okay, Angelique, how is that for you? Okay, yeah. So the capacity of being depressed is just, and here again, it is the seed somebody has, perhaps you, yeah, it's a seed, and we need to allow that seed to be there, to nurture it, just like what we have seen with the tree. When we are not patient, when we want to change from one to another, you simply look into that, you know, that basket of fruits, because your trait wants to be developed. Oh, sorry, Angelique. Yeah, it's still, it's a beautiful invention, but sometimes I think the technique is not yet that well. Okay, so I hope still that you get me, and I would with these examples, you know, we have all had an experience by ourselves, or if we just were listening, we have an experience like, okay, yes, even something as depression, even something as anger, even something as stupidity, arrogance, all of them, when we truly dare to live it, truly dare to let it be, yeah, and to not just to accept, but it starts with accepting. It starts with accepting and goes further. Je kunt even opnieuw verbinden, misschien is het dan beter. Oh, voor de oké. Let's see. Tip van Nadi. Misschien lukt dat. Oké, prima. Dank je. Thanks. So now I would like to come to the third part of the webinar today. Now then, yeah. Okay. But we are building up on that, Angelique. There will come likely more of them. Okay. This is what I'm now hearing. I don't know what I'm hearing, but I hear something. Okay. Let me see. Is this? Okay, I have this one now. Let us see. Good. So the third part. Okay, great that it works again. The third part of today's webinar is actually like how to live in harmony. Yeah, how to do that. And I don't want to give steps here, but in my retreats, as I have done them, especially like in 2012, and the last one this year was again such a rich deepening of the same. Yeah, is that the gifts of life, as there are 12 developmental stages, yeah, in our social, emotional, and spiritual development. And these stages are without any context. They have no context. They are simply a how, yeah, how you actually can nurture your own nature. How can you look at it? How can you live it, yeah, in a way? And these gifts are a very essential part in how you can do that. And for that purpose, I also wanted to share with you actually a training that I'm organizing. And here it is that we are going through these levels, and the first 4 levels, the first 4 bridges with 15 gifts in them. So each of them is a separate gift. For example, to be okay with yourself seems to be very normal, yeah. But and to love all emotions, for example, yeah, it's a gift that we have, but we kind of, it's hard to do. But it's the starting point is to see where we are illusionary, where we are actually giving into things that are not real. And here again, no projects, yeah, no projects, observing what is there, yeah, and just know of what is real and know what is not real. And that's a very essential difference, yeah. So let me share with you shortly a slide. Give me a sec. Where is it? Here we go. Oops. Is already it? I believe so. Okay. Share. And here it should come. And wonder above wonder, here it is. Good. So what this training is about, yeah, is actually to become aware of these gifts of life that are for everybody in us. And these gifts of life are making that we can nurture. It's like how you would nurture a seed, an apple seed. Yeah, these gifts make that you can nurture yourself, that you can nurture your own development forcelessly, yeah, defenselessly, yeah, and loving. And loving means here that you don't have to be loving. Don't understand me wrong. Yeah, you don't have to be loving in order to be loving. So, yeah, my daughter laughs at me. It's that when you are, for example, really disliking a certain trait, then this is also something that is there. And it is also something, yeah, that has potential. Yeah. So we always move from that what is there, never to something of what we would like to be or what we think should be, you know. And the gifts of life, those bridges, they help us. Yeah, there are 12 in total that were given to me. They help us simply to see, you know, how we can nurture our own nature. And in this course, we have 4 times 1.5 hour webinar, interactive training, where we always partly reflect on the weeks before and starting the new topic. So we always do both, where it's a preparation for the next 3 weeks. It's every 3 weeks. And in these 3 weeks, you also will have a personal coaching with every bridge, where you have a main invitation and illusion, yeah, why you can't naturally develop that bridge. Yeah, so what is in you, and I coach you in that. So because very often we can see clearly with others, but with ourselves sometimes we are so blind. I'm sure you can have also such kind of examples for yourself, that it is at times hard and a little help helps. And we also will have a Facebook group for these 10 participants. There are a maximum of 10 participants in this course, and where you can ask. Yes, Xavier, thank you for the details. Oh, sometimes, what do you mean by that, Nadi? SD? Nadi, can you so shortly elaborate on that? I can't, has kind of not reached here fully. Oh, yes, sometimes. Easier things we can see, but it is often the things that we really would need to see, it's hard to see by yourself. That is my experience. And so it's good to have a small hint, a coaching of a certain bridge of why you at this very moment can't be that supportive to yourself. And the Facebook group will be also there. There are 10 participant maximum in this course, because I really like to have the possibility to support you and to have also an interaction with each other during the training. And in this training, it's actually like you learn also an intervention, how you can accept, welcome, and embrace, and finally love each single part of you that you already embody. Because the point is, you cannot be anybody else as you are, you know. This is who you are. You can only look at who you are. And when you say love yourself as you are, it is said so often, but how do you do that? And you know, and love yourself as you are, and how do you deal then with those aspects of yourself? And this comes naturally when we are ready to activate those gifts in ourselves. Then this comes naturally to you. This is the water, the good soil, and the loving attention we can give an apple tree. The gifts of life are like that, and they are accessible and available to each of us, and they're without any context. They have no context, so it fits for every person, the individual person. Okay, so that is this course. And oops, here I am back again. Okay, and I see now that I actually have forgotten all the polls. Great. But next time I will kind of make a small hint that I won't forget them. For this offer, I have one more slide which I also would like to share with you. The last one, because we have an hour and the hour is already 1 minute. But give me that 1 minute if you like, please. Oops. There it comes. Okay. So this practical course on how to support your own unique, true, authentic earthly nature, what a word, that you embody now with loving attention and care, is 99 euros, and all of what was said before. No, I think, Xavier, can you put the earphone in? I think you're still there. And it's beeping a bit. It's starting on 20th of November, that is the plan, and would also be on Sunday, on Sundays. And yeah, if you cannot follow a course day, it's not such a bad thing, because the recording will anyhow be sent to you, and you still have the possibility to ask the question. And now I still would like to try a poll. Let me see. Wait a second. It's coming, I hope. Oops, wait a second. Okay, here it is. Okay. If it's okay, you can see now a poll. I hope so. And the question here is Sunday a good day for you to join a 1 and 1.5 hour webinar for you? And I would be happy if, okay. Now I don't know exactly how I can see if all people have done the poll, but let's just see. So far, half is okay, and half it's actually Sundays is not a good time for you. So for that purpose, I thank you very much that you today made the time to come. It's really great, even though it is not that conducive for you. Okay, thank you. So also just to check, if it's okay, you see now the offer here, and the possibility of joining us here. Now, while you have this this offer there, I still, and I believe you still will keep it seeing, even though I'm not 100% sure you will. Yeah, I would like to open general questions about what we have now done today and the training. Some questions. Ah, oké. Ja, ik ben toevallig vrij vandaag. Ja, dat is een keer lekker, hè? Then thank you a lot for having made the effort to come here. So are they still, you have no questions, Xavier? Okay, good. Angelique, Nadi, any questions? Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Xavier, that you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. I hope also that the rest is enjoying it or have enjoyed it, and that perhaps it gave you a little bit of a drive to, you know, to be more patient with yourself and to enjoy yourself. Okay, thank you, Angelique. Thank you for that feedback. Yes. Okay, good. So then I say thanks for that you have made the time, and I hope we will see each other soon again. Enjoy your rest of the Sunday. Bye-bye. Oh, the chat will still stay open shortly, but the broadcast will stop. Bye.